Hello, just a quick video about something that people might find absolutely obvious, but I think is worth talking about because it wasn't obvious to me. So if you find this like laughably obvious in the first few minutes, don't keep watching this video, whatever you do, because it's not going to get any more interesting. But for those who do find it interesting, I think this is a bit of a hack. It's a bit of an interesting thing. Okay, so often in jazz we learn concepts, and we learn them one way round. So a classic one is, okay, we're in the key of A flat 7. We're playing an A flat 7 chord. A flat 7 isn't a key, but we're gonna, play that sound. Now, if we want to get more interesting sounds, one way we can do this is by playing the melodic minor up a fifth, right? And we get the A flat leading dominant sound. Now, obviously, the emphasis of that scale is a bit different. Yeah, but I mean, the scale is the same, and you can conceptualize that as an E flat melodic minor, or you can conceptualize it as an A flat leading dominant. Right, this is basic chord scale theory. I think most jazz students know this stuff, and that also extends to arpeggios. So, for example, a very old-fashioned way of doing this is to play like the E flat minor sixth arpeggio, which is obviously related to the melodic minor scale, over the A flat 7, and it gives you an A flat 9 sound. Charlie Christian used this to death, but you can also, of course, hear it in Django, Lester Young, and heaps of other musicians, right? It's a really common strategy. Okay, so let's just demonstrate that. Actually, let's find a vamp which has just that. I might edit this out in the video. So you want a bit of, this will do. This will probably be really cheesy. Okay, A flat 7, we're going to play. So what I'm doing now, I'm just using like E flat melodic minor and E flat Dorian to create my lines, and you can hear that works pretty well, and it kind of leans, the emphasis, if you like, as opposed to emphasis, means it leans on different notes of the scale, and these tend to be the upper extensions, which is more interesting. We're going to do the same thing, we're going to reverse it around, and I think people do this less often for some reason, okay? So we're now again in E flat minor, and we're going to play all this A flat 7 bebop language, which I've been working on, because we heavily prioritise practising dominance in sort of bebop land, and certainly in Barry Harris land, let the dominants dominate. And this is something else which we can do with our dominant language. If we've got stuff, we want to apply it in as many places as possible. So let's give this a go. So I think that sounds pretty George Benson-y, actually. Apologies for my grotesque lapse into smooth jazz there, but I think I could always get some money if the bebop thing continues not to work out. Anyway, hopefully that makes my point. I'm not going to put you through that again. Okay. So another example harmonically of how this can work is if we have like a half diminished chord, because I think most of us could look at a D9 chord, hopefully, and if we know a little bit about our chord shapes, we can realise that there's an F sharp half diminished lurking in the sort of top 4 notes of that chord. Like gypsy jazz grips like that kind of give you that straight up, right? It's half diminished there, and gypsy jazz players also take advantage of that, and also the fact that a minor sixth and half diminished is the same thing. Like F sharp half diminished and A minor sixth are effectively the same chord. So that means they're just inversions of each other, right? Different bass notes. F sharp in that one, A in that one. So that effectively means, of course, that we can play, well, A melodic minor over the top of that. But it also means that what we can do as well is we can relate that to our dominant bebop language on D7. Okay, one tune which I know which has that, which has an extended little burst of half diminished action. Sorry, I keep playing that backing track. Oh, we don't want that one. Oh no. Is this one here, right? Okay. Okay, D7. G7. And so on, right? Okay, so what we're doing there is I'm just using also the fact that I have a major chord related to the dominant as well. And it has a kind of Lydian tonality. So for instance, if I'm in G7, and I play the arpeggio off the 7, which is F, right? I get F major 7th. Well, doesn't that mean I can play... play the F major, or play the G7 scale, sorry, on the F major. I mean, I thought it sounded pretty good. So that's another option, you know, and then I've got all this dominant bebop language that I can use over that. It might not work for a conventional, functional major 7th chord on 1, because it might be a little bit too out there. But for that chord, which is a static, non-functional F major going to E flat major, going to D flat major, it kind of works, I think. I think it sounds good. And it allows you to play bebop on it, which is good because that's what I've been practicing, right? You want to make maximum use of your materials. Okay, so like one thing we can do, which we often practice for rhythm, is to practice quarter triplets. So if I take a tune which is sort of medium tempo, such as There Is No Greater Love, right? Have a listen to this backing track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, fit us 2 fuel, count, 1, 2, da 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 da. Kind of 6/8, right? I'll do it with another track which is a little slower, this one. We get the bembe triplet, bembe sort of clave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it kind of improves your swing feel, right? I think most jazz students know about that kind of stuff if they're serious, you know. I mean, you've also got the displaced triplet as well. I probably need to demonstrate that as a slower tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those two rhythms are very important. Right. Okay. So I've spent hours practicing that stuff. You might not be able to tell, but I have, and I think it has improved my feel. However, one thing, and I didn't think of this, and this is why Peter Bernstein comes in, is to do the opposite. So if we've got a nice 3, for instance, let's take Someday My Prince Will Come, just because that's a 3 tune I can think of right away, and I put that on. Let's listen to what happens if we do the reverse. 2. See, there's a 6, right? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's 2, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da dee da boo ba doo ba doo. 1, babble dabble doo ba, ba ba babble dabble doo ba, ba babble dabble doo ba, doo da doo ja ja. And I think it really improves one's feel at those waltz sort of things. So that's another example of where you can just get a lot out of reversing something over. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you find it useful. And don't forget, whenever you have a new concept, don't just apply it one way round. Try to apply it backwards as well. Backwards even. I seem to have trouble saying the word backwards today. Oh well. It's been a long day.